video is a tour of the syllabus, of which we have two. I'm not going to go through the institutional syllabus. I will allow you to read through that on your own, but do be aware that the questions on the introductory quiz include questions from the syllabus, the institutional syllabus. Mainly, I'm going to cover the online syllabus, and I'm going to blow this up all nice and big so it'll be easier for you to see on this video. Up here in this corner, you can find my contact information, where my office is, and also my office hours. This will change from semester to semester, but this is always where you're going to find it. This affidavit of syllabus is contract. All syllabi, that's more than one syllabus, are contracts between the student and the instructor. Basically, by signing up for this course, you agree to follow the syllabus. So make sure you read through it and you understand it. Next up, I have a welcome to CWI, to me, to the course. There's also a brief schedule. I'll let you read through that. These are pretty self-explanatory. Here are some good important dates that you'll want to take a look at. Here are the course objectives. Basically, this is what you should know when you come out of this course. I tie in the chapter learning objectives into these course objectives. They're more detailed and I use them as study guides. Outcomes assessment, this basically tells you how I'm going to determine how you know or how well you've done with the course objectives. As you can tell, this is pretty basic. This is so that each of the different instructors can do what they like, and also so I can tweak things over the semesters. With the course evaluations, I find out what worked, what didn't, and I'm constantly trying to improve things. This required textbook and supplies and skills, I posted that on Blackboard before the semester started. You've probably taken a look at it. If you haven't, make sure you have all of these. Communication, there's several ways in which I will communicate with you during this course. I have details down here. Basically, I've got a discussion board. You can call me on my office phone during my office hours. You can email me. And also I'll be giving comments when I grade your assignments. Scrolling down, I don't allow late assignments. With a few exceptions, of course, for military or civil service duty, I allow you to make up those. You check the student handbook for details on that. But later on, when we hit the grading details, we'll talk about makeup assignments. Netiquette. Make sure you read through this section. I will be holding you to netiquette expectations. Basically, netiquette is etiquette, or being nice to everybody on the net. So make sure that you are polite to your classmates and to me. Participation, contributions, academic honesty. Make sure you're honest, do not cheat, do not commit plagiarism. I'll have you read through that. Time and pace expectations. This class is not self-paced. And if you signed up for this online class thinking it was going to take less time than a traditional face-to-face class, I'm sorry, you're going to be spending just as much time. In fact, you can plan on spending 12 to 16 hours per week in preparation and completion of course assignments for this 4-unit course. That equates to about 2 hours per day, not including the lab. So make sure you have that budgeted in. Assignment makeups, not quite sure why I have that twice. Testing policies. Tests will be given at the testing and assessment centers. We have one at Ada County, and we also have one at the Micron building. I have under the course documents button and in the directions folder, directions on how to sign up 4 times to take the exams. You have to sign up at least 1 day before you want to take the exam. Personally, if it were me, I would take a look at the course schedule and I would decide what day I wanted to take the exam and schedule them now. That way, there won't be any problem with the day that you want being all filled up with this course and other online courses. Let's see, here's my what you can have and what you can't have. I'll be giving out an announcement talking about exam reviews. We'll talk more about that. Make sure you read through this. I'm not offering extra credit this semester. I'm doing makeup points instead. Non-attendance, I'll have you read through that. Lab attendance. Even though this is an online lecture, we do have a requirement that you take the traditional face-to-face lab. They meet Tuesday, Thursday. If you are not signed up for a lab, do so now. If you are not signed up for a lab by the end of the week, I will drop you. Sorry, that's just the way it is, because you can't pass this course without the lab. Here's part of the reason. It is department policy that you attend most of the labs. We allow you to miss 4 days of laboratory exercises without penalty. If you miss a fifth one, your combined points from lab and lecture will be dropped 2.5%. Because the total points for this course is 1,000 points, that's 25 points. So make sure you don't miss too many. Laboratory safety. On your lab Blackboard site, you will find the CWI safety document posted. Make sure you read through that. Also make sure that you take the safety quiz, because you can't attend lab unless you take that quiz. Okay, record keeping. This section is basically saying, if you have a question about a grade that I've given, get with me quickly. It's easier for both you and me to get this taken care of quickly. Okay, grading policy. I have some lovely pie charts that show visually how each of the contributions to your points add up to the whole. Now, if you prefer to have it in table form, here it is in table form. This basically tells you how many points are for each exam, what chapters are covered, what assignments there are, what chapters are included, all of that fun stuff. Now down below, I detail your makeup point opportunities. We'll talk more about the exam review. For the assignment makeups, basically, when I set up the full points for the assignments, let's go back up to this table, it adds up to 350. That's for the Learn Smart chapter activities, discussion boards, introductory activities, and the topic application essays that I have outlined here and here. So basically, what that means is chapter 22 is extra, unquote. And you can make up the points by doing the activities, the assignments for chapter 22. That way, if you miss some points or you miss doing an assignment, you have the option of making up some of the points. Also, at the very end of the course, we'll have a final review activity and a discussion board. That's optional. You can make up 10 possible points. The last two topic application essays, they're also extra. Vocabulary practice. I have an optional assignment set up where you can practice vocabulary. When you take a Spanish class, you learn Spanish. When you take a French class, you learn French. When you take microbiology, you learn microbiology E's. It's mainly based on Latin. Nevertheless, it's good to practice the vocabulary, and I want to give you some points for doing it. But I don't want to make it required in case you've taken some other medical type courses and all of this is not so new to you. But I would recommend that you at least learn the bolded terms in the chapter, because I like to put some vocabulary questions on each exam. I also have an optional assignment of the recorded lecture quizzes. They're questions that relate to my recorded lectures, and you can get 1 point per chapter for that. In chapter 9, I have a bloodborne pathogens quiz. It's very good to take, helps you understand the OSHA regulations as it relates to bloodborne pathogens like HIV, hepatitis B, hepatitis C, and how not to get them. I think anybody who's planning on going into any type of medical healthcare profession should be aware of the Bloodborne Pathogens Act. So, I would highly recommend that one. Course evaluation. This is how I know how to improve the course. So please, 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 please take the course evaluation. And I'll give you 2 points for that. There's an activity survey. It's a little more specific than the course evaluation. Lets me know which activities worked for you, which ones didn't. If you go to a tutoring session, for every hour I'll give you a point. If you go to the writing center, each time you go I'll give you a point. Or each time you submit something. I also have some books. There's some workshops that I'll make available. I'll let you know through the semester, through announcements. Okay. So here's the points breakdown. Basically 90% A, 80% B. That's fairly straightforward. I'll let you read the rest of this. And here's the calendar. Now you'll notice I have this 2 places. I have this here in the syllabus, and I also have this under the syllabus button by itself. In other words, I don't want to make you have to scroll through to the end of the syllabus each time you want to take a look at the calendar. And that is the syllabus for this course.